It's my third day trading Google. I did a bigger trade. These past ones, only buying 10 shares. This time I doubled up. And look at how the price has been. The first time I got in, average cost, or yeah, it was 166, and then the second day, the market or the stock dropped, but I still made a profit on it. And now it's kind of on 319, it was kind of right in the middle. So threw down a larger cost, got down a larger profit, but still exactly a 0.5% trade. This is another one where I couldn't really keep my eye on it, so I set that limit sell. It triggered, but you're gonna see when I open the chart, man, if I had the time to watch it, it ran up, and I feel like I would have had the patience to maybe not ride it to the top, but at least take a little bit more. And maybe there was another opportunity to buy. So let's jump into the chart. Well, I am curious, what's my total now? 287, moving up. And yeah, these paper trades are falling in the past. This was my second best day of realized profits, but 2 swing trades in there, so not sure if that really counts. All right, so this is Google. We're going to zoom out a little bit. We can see the date, 3/19. Yep, had it set up and I forgot the date. But same as always, threw the arrows on there for when I bought in and when I sold. So I'm gonna take a look at when I bought in. It actually wasn't the best time. I think I saw a couple indicators, but if I would have taken a step back, there would have been some indicators to hold off maybe until about here. But let's zoom in. This is the 1-minute candle chart. Actually, let's zoom out real quick. All right, so here we go. This is the day chart. Remember when we found Google, it was on FinViz and it was in this upward channel. Kind of something like, if I remember correctly, probably like that and something like that. But it had broke out. We spotted it on FinViz on this big red candlestick here. Watched it the next day thinking it was going to get in. Saw a green candlestick. Not sure. Oh, I guess we can take a look real quick. What days did I get in? So first one goes back to the 17th. Maybe I'm looking at this right. Where's the 17th? This is the 20th. So it was here. I might have been doing other trades. I'd have to go back a couple episodes to find out. But anyways, this is where we're at. So just looking at this in general, there might be opportunities to, catch these day trade swings in here. But if I'm also considering swing trades and long trade investments just to have some reserves, like I said, I'm working not too far from reopening my like a registered account with 25,000 in it, but I'm limiting myself in this plan right now to I think like 5,000. So that other 20, I'm considering rotating it in ETFs by going back to the bar chart website, checking out which sectors of the market are how they're doing in comparison to the S&P 500, and then moving that 20,000 just around in ETFs, sector ETFs. But all right, let's zoom back in. So this was the 19th. What days did I trade? I traded a day that it lost, and then I guess 2 days that it won. 17, 18, 19, of course. All right, so 19, I had a win. I beat Google that day, and also beat Google that day. So 3 wins in a row with Google. That's not, I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's that significant, but right now it's kind of like a milestone. It does feel good. Let's zoom into the 15 now. So let's go to the hour. Let's slowly take it. 1 hour. All right. So on the hour chart, it looks like I got in at a pretty good time. Where is our 0 in the MACD? It is here. This line. No? This line. Yep. So when I bought in on the hour, it wasn't quite there yet. But it was in an upward trend. RSI is in an upward trend. Candlesticks are looking strong. Now we'll come down to, let's check the 30, I guess. 30 keeps showing progress up on the MACD, coming now to 0. So from the 30-minute standpoint, we were there. 15. I think this is probably one of my favorite candlestick minutes to watch. Zoom out a little bit so we can see what's going on with MACD. So about there. MACD is over 0, trending up. RSI was strong. Zoom back in a little bit. It seemed like a good time, but when we get down to the minute chart, there was a couple of indicators that it could have been better, and I got lucky. This trade did not feel as good as the first two. So yeah, you can see here when I bought in, look, it just kept coming down after that. So I was a little, I think, overconfident from seeing what was a 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart. Saw it jump above the Bollinger Band center line here, or the 20 moving average. Check it, and then another green candle. So I felt pretty good. If we come down at that moment, RSI was going back up, and it was still pretty strong. MACD is positive, so I think that's what triggered in my brain. I was like, oh yeah, it's been coming down, but now it's starting to curve up again, and it's starting to touch. I felt like it was gonna keep going. So it wasn't too bad, and maybe that's contributed to MACD still being positive, but if I would have just zoomed out, clearly the moving average was in a downtrend, just like what was gonna happen. And it came down here and it touched 0. It went right below it. I found a support line here, probably from a different candlestick period, and it touched it. So wherever I found that was prime. But anyways, the amount it dropped down, I don't know, I was working, but if I had a stop loss, it probably would have triggered. And then I think, if I'm being honest with myself, I could have maybe convinced myself to buy in again here. But because yeah, if you come here, pretty solid run up. MACD is crossing over 0 again. RSI is strong. I might have convinced myself to buy in there if a stop loss had triggered, but still wouldn't have been that ideal. It goes sideways, and if you look at, what is this point? Is that what I said? Yeah, here. It's at like the same dollar price that I bought at earlier. So I could have maybe doubled down there, but I had already bought twice as much as I was practicing with in the past. Alright, but so again, zoom back out, you can see this solid long-term resistance, but MACD stayed positive, price started coming back up, and I got exactly a 0.5% over this spread here. So I could have done it in a shorter amount of time from here, or somewhere in here. Same spread, but shorter amount of time. And that would have been a pro move, but I'm not a pro. I'm amateur, still learning a lot. And then I think this was pretty much the peak. Like, it started coming back down here, but again, later in the day it got crazy, and that's where I wish I would have kept watching. But after here, I think, you know, he had 1, 2, 3 bounces off of this resistance. It was almost certain that it was going to go back down. Or, I don't know, I say that maybe too confidently, but it looks like it could, and it did. Comes back down, touches 0. This was the greatest run up that I missed. And you know, look, if I would have just held on for the entire day, like if I wouldn't have sold, I could have maybe doubled. But can't get greedy, got to take profits, or else you never really made anything. So, but again, if I'm being humble with myself, and I was able to watch it at this time, would there have been an opportunity I would have bought in here according to my rules? I mean, this area is starting to look good. Crosses over. But MACD is still negative, so I would have maybe held off. It comes down and checks. And then this fat green candle here, it's still on 0. A second green candle. I might have bought here, if I'm being honest with myself. Maybe a little emotional, or maybe even this one. This one, it's definitely over. RSI is trending up. I probably would have bought here. I don't know if this pop was enough to get it, and I think if a pop like that comes so fast, I'd probably take it, because I don't know what's going to happen next. But if it wasn't 0.5 and I was just biding my time, I do think this trend was slow enough that I would have been comfortable riding it. Maybe not to the top, but I think I could have taken profits a little bit greater than just 0.5%. So yeah, that was a crazy day. I got lucky in the beginning, but it's because I didn't get to watch. But still, setting a limit sell and things lining up, I got a 0.5%. There's one last thing I want to point out with Google. So this is kind of a unique day compared to the last few ones. Let's take one more look at the day chart. So yeah, this day it bounced up after 2 days of coming down, and I drew this resistance. I don't know where it came from, which it caught there. But why a pump like that and not like a little T like one of these? I was kind of curious, especially because that run up at the end looked, I don't know, just look at this. That's a pretty gnarly run. So I thought about it for a minute, went to Yahoo, went to Google. Which one am I in? Let's see if I go back. I'm in Google on Yahoo Finance and News under press releases. Look at this. Google announces agreement to acquire Wiz 3 days ago. When was that? The 18th? Oh, was this trade the 19th? Oh man, am I completely... Yeah, it was the 19th. So what happened? There was a sell-off the day before. How was the sell-off? Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I knew something, and I had done my research beforehand in this video to prep for it, but I was still figuring it out. Alright, so this was the 18th. Oh, but if you look at that, it came way down. And when was it dropped? It was 7:30 in the morning. So before open. I wonder what that volatility was like. Let's go to the 15-minute. What's the 18th here? 18th. Wow, that was when it slammed. So the news to acquire, what does it say? Acquired, dropped it. I don't know what Wiz is. I haven't read this yet. But the reason I bring it up is because I need to start having like an extra window open with the news of whatever I'm trading, like side by side. Because I do remember that day after that first drop, it went out the Bollinger Band I had talked about, where those old emotions kicked in. I wanted to buy, but I didn't. I had no idea about this article, and I would have stayed out of it if I knew maybe a little bit more. I did stay out of it, but would have more confidently stayed out of it. So that's the last lesson for this one. Google's been great this week. Maxed out my trades, three trades for not being a registered day trader. All wins, all with Google, based on the research that we did. Going back to episode 4. I've gotten a couple other more trades in with crypto, and overall things are going good. It's going slow but progressing, and appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.